Great Boulder Resources announced thick gold intercepts at the company's flagship project, the Sidewells Gold Project. Managing Director Andrew Paterson is here to talk about it. Andrew, welcome to mining.com.au.
Thank you, Mike. Nice to meet you.
Tell us, what did the assays show, Andrew?
Yeah, so this is probably the second or third round of RC drilling at Sidewell South, and in that sense, it's good confirmation of what we already thought, which is basically that we had discovered and then identified two parallel zones of gold in this area. And one of them is about 300 metres long, the other one currently about 400 metres long, and both open along strike to the north, and obviously also open at depth. So this is just good confirmation of what the geologists thought in terms of size, structure, dip, potential, all that sort of stuff.
Kind of step back, what are you trying to model as you're going through with the program, Andrew?
Yeah, so specifically the drilling is designed to define the shape. So, the three-dimensional shape, both in terms of plan view, the width and thickness and length, and then down dip. So, the dip angle, which in this case is around 70 degrees or thereabouts. The weathering, so obviously starting with the clay horizon, getting down into semi-weathered material and then fresh rock. That's all valid information going into the resource, because each weathering profile has different density. And then obviously at the end of the day, the gold grade as well. So all of that kind of three-dimensional information feeding into what will be a maiden resource for this area. We don't have any resource ounces there at this stage, and this will be one of the 5 deposits feeding into the resource update at the end of 2025.
Andrew, looking at the investor presentation, you say what you're focused on is very large and it's also underexplored.
Yeah, so as our investors probably know, we're immediately east of Meekatharra in Western Australia, which is one of WA's historic goldfields. And yet, even within 10 kilometres of town, some of these targets are actually greenfields areas that have never been drilled. And for example, this eastern corridor, which includes this Sidewell deposit, is a zone of targets 22 kilometres long in strike length from north to south. Within that, there's a surprisingly small amount of previous drilling. In some of these areas, as I said, never been drilled before. Ironbark was a virgin discovery. Saltbush had 3 holes in it before we got there, and Sidewell South is effectively a new discovery as well, albeit it had some very shallow drilling over the top that didn't identify any mineralisation. So in that sense, it's a really big target area, 22 kilometres long, and that doesn't include some new targets further south again that we have yet to drill test. So what we're hoping is that these 5 deposits going into the resource update will inform the mineral resource estimate at the end of this year. But the drilling that we're doing now and through the end of 2025 will be aimed at new discoveries and further growth moving into 2026. So what we're hoping is that we'll be in the order of 1 million ounces by the end of 2025, and then with further discoveries growing that, in the order of another 500,000 ounces in the next 1 to 2 years.
Andrew, are you cashed up for the program ahead?
Yeah, for a company of our size, we're actually extremely well cashed up now. So in recent announcements, we've been talking about increasing our field presence from 3 rigs to 4. So we're heavily involved in planning and design processes to design all of those holes specifically to host an extra rig. Currently today, we have 1 air core, 1 RC and 1 diamond rig in the field, and we are hoping that as the air core rig progresses, makes new discoveries, we'll get the RC rig onto those new targets going forward. So very busy times as we close out the year.
Andrew, thanks for speaking with mining.com.au.
Thanks very much.